Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the members of the Lackawanna City Council, I'd like to welcome everyone to our January 3rd, 2023 City Council meeting caucus. As many are aware, the caucus is used as an opportunity for the various council members to discuss and debate and consider each of the agenda items before the formal City Council meeting and the formal vote is taken. To that end, the first several administrative matters, including departmental reports, number one from the controller, will be entertained at the formal meeting. Moving on to item number two is the letter I sent. We usually have our organizational meeting first month of the new year. And as a result, I'm suggesting to the City Council that we continue with our observed voting sequence, and that is we vote by ward. If everyone's okay with that, then you can consider. If not, then there's always amendments that could be made. The second item, actually item number three, submitted by our city clerk, Mr. Pasquale, regarding the reorganization for the year of 2023 for the Lackawanna City Council. Resolution number one is the appointment and the election of a president pro tem in the absence of the regular president of the City Council, and it's been last several times Kevin Surdike, and he's been the longest sitting member of the City Council, and that's normally who the position goes to. And that is being submitted for the consideration of the City Council. If there's any discussion or any comments, please address them.
I'd just like to thank my fellow council members for their support and confidence in me, and hopefully, like I've said the last few years, I won't have to run any meetings. I'll stay at home. Thank you.
For sure. All right, moving on to resolution number two, the establishment of meeting dates. That's located on the city's website page. And third resolution is item C, appointing the official newspaper for city business, and that would be the Buffalo Business First newspaper at 465 Main Street, Buffalo. We've used them with great success in the past. Any comments on any of those resolutions, B or C? If not, moving on to item number four from the city controller, requesting a budget ordinance increasing budget revenue appropriations to address the sale of old fire department equipment, and that is represented by ordinance A. Anyone have any comments on that item, number four? If not, moving on to a business registration, Wasim Al Wasim, DBA, the Villa Banquet. Anyone have any comments? The reports from all of the department heads regarding the inspections passed. So unless there's any update on those, anyone else have any comments? If not, then we've had some later submitted items that would be on the Wednesday before our regular meeting for submission on the agenda for our consideration this evening. And that is a communication from our city attorney. He's not here this evening. He's asked to be excused, which was granted, as well as Chuck Clark. And that is consideration of overtime payments for those members, both of the DPW and various other departments who heroically, and I don't think there's any room for debate there, put in some substantial time, not only as we've witnessed in the other snowstorms, but obviously in this one, which was historic in many people's opinions and factually also. So we would ask for consideration on that item for a waiver of the rules and approval of overtime for those people who dedicated their time. And to that end, we have, I would just like to address a few comments. For those who are not old enough to experience, having had experienced the blizzard of 1977, I unfortunately have to admit I was there and I witnessed it, and it was horrific. This, however, this recent snowstorm, when they said it was going to be an epic snowstorm, they were right on the money. And the people who step up normally stepped up a big time again today, and they're here. But and the thanks, not only from our city council but from our residents, needs to be expressed this evening, because we have people here who did spend a lot of time. And we'll start. I'll start with the city council. Council member Amira Muflahi, she and her family and some friends spent hours and hours and hours and resources in the kitchen cooking food with 130 people who were stranded on our roadways, who spent time in our senior center. And we can't thank her enough for that. In addition to that, we have Council member Anderson, who not only with the last snowstorm, but this snowstorm also spent hours overnight at the senior center to help facilitate whatever was needed there. And he's not even looking for any recognition or any additional funds. But by the same token, there are always those few heroes that step up, and there were quite a few of them this time. In addition to our other council members, Council member Moretti was available not only to spend time at the senior center, but use his own vehicle, his four-wheel vehicle, to transport people for medical care when they needed it, and to transport people from rescues on Route 5 and other areas to deliver them from fire stations or the Route 5 to our senior center. I cannot express in words, and I'm not usually at a loss for words, the gratitude that our community owes these members of the city council. Now to move on to our department heads. You have, of course, Tony, our commissioner of the Public Works, Tony DeSantis. Again, supposed to be part-time. It was anything but part-time. He was there full-time, overtime, hours, by phone, anything he could do, coordinating the effort, which was substantial. And from what was learned from the last snowstorm and the response, he improved on that with his department. Members of those departments are here today. Our director of recreation, Brian Laxo, coordinated the effort for the senior center as a warming station and as a safe haven for those people. And Brian, you can speak to this, came from different parts of the country, all wound up in Lackawanna. And obviously not for sightseeing, because you couldn't see anything but snow. But and thank God for somebody like Brian, who just stepped up and was available 24 hours a day to address whatever the needs were. And then finally, as far as department heads are concerned, the person that I cannot say enough about is that gentleman at the end of the table, John Wolf, our director of public safety, who exhibited leadership of such a magnitude that, I know you serve with the state police and they're a quasi-military organization, but John, what you did to coordinate that effort, I just can't put into words. And we can't thank you enough for being around for 24 hours a day like the other people. People like you aren't around anymore, except fortunately we have people like you in Lackawanna. So, I can't thank you enough. I know this council can't thank you enough. The city can't thank you enough. Chuck Clark was available, our mayor, in her leadership. We thank her for that. But then we got these guys over here who ran the plows and who were available. And Greg Kowalik, I received a phone call about a young lady who lived on McKinley Parkway and could not have access because you know how the houses are situated. The garages are in another street. Couldn't get to McKinley Parkway. Called, and within 2 hours, the snow was cleared out. And in fact, she sent a complimentary letter for what you did. And Chris Drusbick and Mark Friend were behind those plows, the jockeys behind those plows, and to help coordinate the efforts for the snow removal. Where do we begin to thank you? And our police chief and our fire chief and the members of the fire department and our police department were out rescuing people, no complaints, just public servants in every meaning of that word. And not enough can be said. And Tom Nicometto, who's in the purchasing department, is available for the snowstorms. And Tom, you look good on TV. I don't care what your mother says. And we thank you, obviously, for manning the phones and doing whatever you needed to do to help all of us out. While most of us sat home, thank God the power didn't go out. And Council Member Sturdyk will attest to that. Well, the rest of us sat at home, protected and comfortable. All you guys risked your life away from your families on a holiday in one of the worst snowstorms in our history. So, yeah, what can we say? Yeah.
Great job. Good coordinates. Thanks, Chris.
And Captain Kukuleka was in with the police department and in coordinating those efforts. And Captain, we thank you also.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. I don't know if anybody cares to add anything like that again, but what I've seen the last two snowstorms, I'm proud to live in Lackawanna. This is a great place. We've got great people. So thank each and every one. And thank your families for what you had to go through, because you couldn't be with them when everybody else stayed home and we could celebrate the holidays with our families in the comforts of our home.
Hopefully there's no more coming.
Yeah.
Well, even if it does, we're prepared. I mean, as long as you guys aren't sitting in this room, we're safe. We're good to go.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So thank you all, including the council members. So I would ask the various council members to consider waiving the rules, and if the least that we can do is compensate people for the time away from their homes and their families, especially on the holidays. That's for the lives that were saved. You can't put a dollar amount on that. I don't care who you are and what you say. Anyone else care to be heard?
I just want to say that it just showed the love that we have for our city, that we all, people that step forward, and it was quite inspiring to see everybody that I came in contact with, and I thought it was outstanding. And the people that were in the senior center were very, very grateful for our treatment. They were thanking us upside down, So it was wonderful.
It's good to hear.
Good coordination.
And the other thing is, we as a body don't get to hear all the stories, and we haven't heard all the stories that you experienced out there. So I don't even know how to react to that, but all we can say is thank you, God bless you. And we're grateful. The city of Lackawanna is grateful. And I don't know where you put all the snow, but most of it's gone now.
Put in work, still wanna.
All right. Anybody care to talk about or discuss the overtime resolutions that have been submitted for consideration?
Yeah, I just have a few questions. It's the same, Linda, it's the same backup material as the last one.
Exactly.
And I've got that. I saved it from the last time. And the money's come from FEMA. We're applying the same way, and 90% and whatever, same parameters.
That's our understanding.
Pardon?
That's our understanding. that the guidelines are gonna come down exactly
Okay,
the same
that's all I
way.
want to know. Thank you.
And what is the deadline for the FEMA application?
We don't have that information yet.
Okay, so it's not as pressing as the prior application?
We think it's going to be next week, but we're still waiting for it.
And as for the last application that was submitted, has that been processed? Do you know what the turnaround time is and what the actual refund would be?
We're hoping to get that information, but we've been told that FEMA's applying for, or posting for workers because they're shorthanded as well. So we were receiving the initial requests very quickly, and things have slowed down a little bit.
And just, Linda, to augment your explanation, Tom McMeadow is directly responsible for submitting those?
Tom is coordinating it.
Yeah.
Our first plan that we put through, they were supposed to be in contact with us within the last 2 weeks to start the final paperwork for the reimbursement for the storm. They have not contacted anyone in Erie County. They wrote us a letter that they don't have workers at this moment to do this. So we got a letter today that January 6th, we have a meeting for the second FEMA storm. We have to have our paperwork in for our estimates of what we're going to be doing by January 20th for the second part. Once we get to January 20th, they're going to assign us an agent. We're going to hit the first storm first, and then we'll take care of the second one.
And the agent will be assigned on the 20th? Or
The 20th is the last day we have to file for our paperwork for the second storm. We're having our preliminary meeting on the 6th. We have to put everything in the portal by the 20th for submittal for the second FEMA storm. We're gonna have 2 different numbers. So they're gonna assign someone for the first storm, then they're gonna assign someone for the second storm for that.
okay. And do we know if there's any prerequisites that we have to meet as far as, can they reject part of the application while granting part of it? Can
Correct.
they can go through the application and say, we approve these?
It's all broken down into small projects.
Okay, so,
So everything is like, your vendors will be one project, your overtime's gonna be another project, your storm damage, which we consider long-term projects, which you have 365 days to complete, would be another project. And each one is completed and it is approved, they pay you for that,
I see.
which
So,
is 75%, and then you gotta wait about a year for the state to give the other 15 back.
and with the state, it's not guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed, correct?
Okay, and
But they
then,
won't do that, they won't tell you that for another few more months.
and it's not up to FEMA to tell you that, it's up to the state to
It's up to the
respond
state for the other 15%, but FEMA guarantees the 75%.
based on the ones they approve. Okay, and then in the event that whatever they don't approve is the city's burden.
We never had anything not approved since I've been here since 1999. That is not covered.
Similar circumstances as these?
Yes.
All right, any other questions? Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Tom. Our final item for consideration under the waiver of the rules has been submitted by our council member, 3rd Ward, Moretti. Council member Moretti, do you want to give us a little background on what you submitted?
Okay, what apparently has happened, there's homes on Cloverleaf, Fairmont, and parts of Elmview. The gas lines, apparently, the piping is rotted or whatever, and it gets water in there, and when it freezes, it shuts down the gas to the people's homes, and that's what had happened. The gas company was, National Fuel was contacted, they came down. What they do as a temporary thing is they put a heater on there, so if it happens again, it goes below freezing, it will, it won't inhibit the gas from getting into the home because there's water in there. But they only did it to a couple homes, they didn't do every one of them. And what we'd like to see is to expedite this and say to do these necessary repairs as fast as possible, because we're just basically, we're not even halfway through winter yet, so this could happen again and again. Years ago, I lived in an apartment, that's exactly what happened, and they did the same thing, and it was a temporary, but then a couple days later, it did it again. So they gotta come down and replace these lines. So I think with the power of the city and the council and stuff, that we can get national fuel, put a little fire under their butts, and let's get this done. So this doesn't happen to these people again. And so I would like to see the council approve this, that we write to or contact them as the council and say that we need this help. This is what we're looking for.
Has there been any contact made to the utility at all?
Yes.
Okay. So they're aware because they put the heaters?
Yeah, they know there's a problem there, but, you know, again, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, you know, so if you don't, they're gonna just let it go. And it's gonna happen again, you know, so it needs to be addressed immediately.
Do you know how many homes are impacted?
I have to guess probably about 25, maybe more.
Anyone else have any questions or any comments on Councilmember Moretti's communication and request? If not, it's now approximately 9 minutes before 7. What I'm going to do is I'm going to formally call the meeting to order for this January 3rd, 2023 organizational meeting for the Lackawanna City Council. I would ask everyone rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Mrs. City Clerk, would you take the roll?
Absolutely, Mr. Council President. Council Muflahi.
Present.
Anderson. Here. Moretti.
Here.
Sirdike.
Here.
Morano.
Here.
Law Department's been excused. Development.
Here.
Public Works.
Here.
Public Safety. Here. Controller.
Here.
Recreation.
Here.
And Public Information has been excused. Gene, do we have the sheet for the, yeah, that's okay, perfect.
We only have one citizen's remarks, and that's former council member John Ingram. Mr. Ingram, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's, good evening. John Ingram, 25 Church Street. First of all, Your Honor, it's good to hear what you were saying about what individuals did during the storm. But as a citizen, I want to say thank you. What you guys did was more than just your job. It was heroic. What you did for the city showed what Lackawanna is and how we come together when during a crisis. No amount of things could thank you. Thank you, Tony, for your staff, and thank you, Council, for what you guys did. Thank you, Mr. Wolf, for what your people did, whatever. And thank you guys for risking your lives and stuff without. People tend to think that you're just supposed to do it. They don't understand. When you out there cooking with your family and bringing food to the other people, you didn't have to do that. You could have just did the basic, but you didn't. You stepped. Lackawanna people steps out differently than anywhere else. Very proud of you guys, and very happy that I know each one of you is this, and I talk about it all the time. So much so that this year when we do the Martin Luther King celebration, which is in the next 2 weeks, we're not talking about individuals from somewhere else. We're going to be talking about Lackawanna, the diversity in Lackawanna, what we do in the city of Lackawanna from each other. Yes, we fight. Yes, we chew each other out, and sometimes we don't get along. But when the crisis came together, you guys came up. So I'm looking to see you guys on January 16th at the Martin Luther King celebration. And I'm going to say this for the reason why. I'm 65 years old, so I do remember the blizzard, you know. But I also remember when I first came back home, there was only one African-American police officer. Now we have 4 or 5. We have an Arab police officer. We have women police officers. And I thank that, and I thank you, Mr. Wolf, and I say this to you because the diversity, you saw that it needed to be changed. Things had to be changed. I think when I see what's happening in this city, the businesses that we have, from Arabic business to African American business to new business coming in, that's Lackawanna. That's Lackawanna. So that's what people need to see. The world need to see what Lackawanna do. And for you guys that went out there and did everything that y'all did, humanly possible for folks, no amount of thank you is enough. But I want you to understand it was appreciated. It is appreciated every day, what you guys do. A lot of people say things what we shoulda, coulda, woulda, but they were not here. And every time it's been a crisis, under this administration here, under the past administration that I had the pleasure of serving, we have tried to change things and make things better for everyone. So I want you to know that people out there do appreciate it. People out there do talk about it. And every time somebody tries to say something negative about Lackawanna, we make sure we defend it. We defend the people that we done just had a fight with because we know what they have to go through. So again, thank you. And I can't say without just really saying, it touched my heart to watch what y'all was doing. I was on the phone with a couple of you guys watching it, and it was amazing. And we were very fortunate that we didn't lose a lot of it. And that's because of your effort, which y'all did for the city. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ingram. Your comments are greatly appreciated. Thank you. Director Wall.
Yeah, I just thank you for those kind words to all of us, but the mayor, Annette Iafallo, is the reason why the police and the fire and everyone else is being hired, African Americans, Muslim people, the women. That's all through the mayor's office. That's all done by Mayor Iafallo. So Mayor Iafallo deserves the credit for all that. When it comes to the storm, it was DPW, it was the police, and it was the fire. Those guys risked their own lives to save those lives. And the only thing we didn't mention yet is the volunteer snowmobilers. They pulled out 17 people that we physically could not get to and probably would have lost lives if it wasn't for the volunteer volunteer snowmobiles that came in. We put it on Facebook and they were there. They just started showing up. There was a couple names that we have written down that we actually think through social media, but there was a lot of unnamed people that just came up, just wanted to know where they needed to go to save people. So to those folks out there, names and unnamed already, thank you very much, because you definitely saved lives.
Thank you, Director. And thank those snowmobilers again for what they did. Sometimes these crises bring out the best in people, sometimes the worst, but most times the best. And Western New York is known for that. Thank you.
All right, we have the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of December 19th, 2022.
Random moves to adopt minutes of regular meeting December 19th, 2022 is written.
Hughes and seconds. Motion by Morano, second by Anderson to adopt the minutes of the regular meeting of December 19th, 2022 is written. Muflahi?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirleaf?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. Departmental reports, number 1. Controller AP checklisting, number 15. Motion.
Random moves to receive and file departmental report 1.
Ready, second.
Motion by Morano, second by Moretti to receive and file departmental report 1. Muflahi?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirleaf?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. Communications from the council, number 2. Council President requests the city council approve the council voting order for 2023 as follows. First ward, second ward, third ward, fourth ward. Council President.
Muflahi moves to approve the request.
Second, Sirleaf.
Moved by Muflahi, seconded by Sirleaf to approve request. Muflahi?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirleaf?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carries 5-0. Communications from division department heads, number 3. City clerk submits 3 resolutions that require city council action at the reorganizational meeting on January 3rd, 2023. Resolution 1. First, give me.
Random moves to receive and file act on resolutions.
Anderson seconds. So I have a motion by Morano, second by Anderson to receive and file act on resolutions. Muflahi?
Yes.
Anderson? Yes. Moretti?
Yes.
Sirleaf?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. The first resolution, Resolution 1, whereas Chapter 3, Section 3.5 of the Charter of the City of Lackawanna provides that the City Council may elect from its members Council President Pro Tempore who shall serve in the event of the Council President's absence or disability, and be it resolved that Councilmember Kevin R. Sirdike, Councilmember of the 4th Ward, be and hereby is selected and appointed to be Council President Pro Tempore for the year, with his term to expire December 31, 2023.
Morano moves to adopt resolution as written.
Ready, second.
Motion by Morano, second by Moretti to adopt the resolution as written. Muflahi?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. The second resolution, whereas Chapter 3, Section 3.7 of the Charter of the City of Lackawanna provides for meeting dates of the Lackawanna City Council, and whereas the City Council is desirous of complying with the Charter of the City of Lackawanna and the Open Meetings Law of the State of New York, be it resolved that the meeting dates for the City of Lackawanna Council meetings for the year 2023 shall be as documented on the attached resolution. Meetings shall be held in Lackawanna City Hall unless otherwise deemed by the City Council. A copy of this resolution to be posted on the centrally located bulletin board in the lobby of City Hall, on the council bulletin board, the city clerk's office, and the city webpage.
Morano moves to adopt resolution as written.
Motion by Moretti, second by Anderson to adopt, by Morano, second by Anderson to adopt resolution as written. Muflahi?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. Resolution number 3, whereas Chapter 2, Section 2.9 of the Charter of the City of Lackawanna by resolution designates a newspaper having general circulation within the city to serve as the official newspaper of the city. Be it resolved that the Buffalo Business First newspaper, 465 Main Street, Suite 100, Buffalo, New York, 14203, is hereby designated as the official newspaper of the City of Lackawanna for the year 2023.
Morano moves to adopt resolution as written.
Second. Sirdike.
We have a motion by Morano, second by Sirdike to adopt resolution as written. Muflahi?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. Item number 4, City Controller requests the City Council approve the attached budget ordinance increasing the budget revenues and appropriations in recognition of proceeds received from the sale of old fire equipment.
Morano moves to receive and file act on ordinance.
Muflahi seconds.
Motion by Morano, second by Muflahi to receive and file act on ordinance. Muflahi?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. That ordinance amending the 2022-2023 budget ordinance adopted May 23rd, 2022 by increasing budget code for unclassified revenue by $1,704 and increasing the budget code for the fire department emergency equipment by $1,704.
Morano moves to adopt ordinance as written.
Ready, second.
Motion by Morano, second by Moretti to adopt ordinance as written. Muflahi?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. Business registrations, Wasim El Wasim doing business as the Villa Banquet, which is a banquet center at 1830 Everett Road.
Muflahi moves to approve business request.
Ready, second.
We have a motion by Muflahi, second by Moretti to approve business registration. Muflahi?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. Mr. Council President.
Regarding communication from City Attorney Judah on behalf of Mayor Iafallo, I move to receive and file communications from Mayor Iafallo and City Attorney Richard Judah.
Need a second? Second. So I have a motion by Morano, second by Anderson to receive and file communications from Mayor Iafallo and City Attorney Richard Judah regarding the overtime December snowstorm. Muflahi?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0.
Morano moves to waive the rules.
Second, Sirdike.
Motion by Morano, second by Sirdike to waive the rules. Muflahi?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. We have a resolution whereas Section 90 of the New York State General Municipal Law authorizes the City Council of the City of Lackawanna to approve overtime pay to certain employees, including non-bargaining unit employees. The mayor has requested that the council approve overtime pay to non-bargaining unit employees that work evenings, weekends, and otherwise during their time off as a result of the recent December snowstorm, as per the attached Schedule A, which may be reviewed in the city clerk's office.
Morano moves to adopt resolution as written. Anderson second.
Motion by Morano, second by Anderson to adopt the resolution as written. Muflahi?
No.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 4-1. The second part of that communication is an ordinance amending the 2022-2023 budget ordinance adopted May 23rd, 2022 by transferring $31,611.73 from the unappropriated fund balance to the following itemized budget codes purchasing overtime, public safety overtime, maintenance of streets overtime totaling $31,611.73.
Morano moves to adopt ordinance as written.
Moretti second.
Motion by Morano, second by Moretti to adopt ordinance as written. Muflahi?
No.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirlik?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 4-1. Second item, under the waiver of the rules, Council Member Moretti requests the City Council approve the attached resolution requesting National Fuel Gas to make immediate repairs to defective gas supply lines on Cloverleaf Avenue, Fairmont Drive, and parts of Elmview Avenue.
Morano moves to receive and file act on resolution.
Anderson seconds. Motion by Moretti, second by Anderson to receive and file act on resolution. Muflahi?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirlik?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. That resolution calls for National Fuel Gas to immediately repair defective gas supply lines and whatever else is needed to prevent the loss of gas flow to residences on Cloverleaf Avenue, Fairmont Drive, and part of Elmwood Avenue as needed.
Morano moves to adopt resolution as written. City clerk to forward a copy of resolution to National Fuel Gas and other local elected representatives.
Moretti second.
Motion by Morano, second by Moretti to adopt resolution as written. City clerk to forward a copy of resolution to National Fuel Gas and local elected representatives. Muflahi?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirlik?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. Mr. Council President?
Linda, just a question. Our city clerk was always on the ball, especially regarding past items. When we had the last snowstorm, there was an ordinance, and we passed a request for an ordinance to establish budget lines, I think directed from our Commissioner of the Public Works. I don't think we received that ordinance yet.
For the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a communication that DPW Commissioner DeSantis put on the record for, I think it was Seattle Cotter in particular.
Oh, for the mechanic. You're talking about for the mechanic.
Is that it? Yeah.
There was a new position added, and Tony and I have not had a chance to meet, so I haven't been able to do the numbers that I need to be able to finalize the ordinance.
Okay, so you're still working on it?
We're still working on it.
Okay.
So,
Okay, 'cause I seem to recall there was a line item for,
Yes.
okay, 2 of them, is what you're
yes,
saying?
there's
Okay.
2.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
know they're coming.
I definitely have them on my list.
Okay. All right, are there any other items regarding table items or old business City Council wishes to bring up at this time? If not, then, yeah. I'm gonna move to adjourn this meeting and move to adjourn in memory of Beverly Mazer. Many of you may remember her. She was a pillar in the Conservative Party, especially during Bill Delmont's term as the chairman of the Conservative Party in Lackawanna. But in addition to that, she had duties regarding the Front Page, which was our local newspaper at that time, and she will be sadly missed. She was a pillar of the community for many, many years. So I would move to adjourn in Beverly Mazer's memory.
At all.
Second.
All right, so I have a motion to adjourn, made by Council President Morano, seconded by et al. To adjourn the meeting in memory of Beverly Mazer, who I think we all know, if you've known her, is a pillar in our community and will be missed. Muflahi?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirlik?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0.
All right, thank you, everyone.